When we talk about a software vulnerability, our minds usually jump straight to the tech side of things, right? We picture security teams scrambling, patching code. But what if I told you that's just the tip of the iceberg? Today, we're going to dig into the true cost of managing all these vulnerabilities, and trust me, it goes way, way beyond the code.
So what is the real cost? This isn't just a technical question for your engineers to worry about. Oh no, it's a massive business question. And lucky for us, a recent report from ChainGuard set out to answer exactly that, to put a hard number on the problem and show us precisely where all that money is going.
Okay, first, let's get on the same page. We're talking about CVEs. That stands for Common Vulnerabilities and Exposures. Basically, these are the security flaws in software that are out there for everyone to see. You've probably heard of the big ones, like Log4Shell, which caused an absolute global meltdown for IT teams. They matter because each one is a known weakness just waiting to be exploited. And for a lot of development teams, dealing with CVEs traps them in something the report calls the CVE doom cycle. And it's just as fun as it sounds. It's this frustrating, expensive, soul-crushing loop. A developer pulls a totally standard software image, a security scan lights up like a Christmas tree with hundreds of vulnerabilities, and suddenly your best engineers have to drop everything they're doing to spend hours, sometimes days, just triaging and patching. And then, poof, the cycle starts all over again.
That whole doom cycle thing feels painful, for sure, but what does it actually cost in real dollars and cents? That's the big question here. The ChainGuard analysis set out to quantify all that pain by breaking it down into 4 key dimensions of business value. This gives us the full, unvarnished picture of the true impact. So here's the framework they used. And it's smart, because it's not just about one thing. It's a combo platter of direct cost savings, the potential for increased revenue, the freedom to achieve faster innovation, and of course, a huge decrease in risk. This 4-part model really gives us the whole shebang.
All right, let's start with the most obvious part, straight-up cost savings. We're talking about the tangible, cold, hard cash that organizations can save just by getting their teams out of the CVE management business. The report really shines a light on this clear trade-off. When you handle all this CVE fixing in-house, the whole do-it-yourself approach, you're pulling your most talented and expensive engineers away from building your actual product. But when you outsource it, you free up those brilliant minds to focus on strategic work that actually, moves the business forward. So, what's the price tag on all that wasted engineering time? Well, get this. The report found that just by outsourcing this one single task, CVE mitigation, organizations saved on average $2.1 million every single year. And remember, we're just getting started. That's only the first piece of the puzzle.
And as you can see here, the savings go even further. On top of that $2.1 million, companies saved an average of another $400,000 on image hardening. That's just proactively securing their software, and almost another $300,000 on meeting compliance rules. Man, the cost of doing it all yourself really adds up fast.
Okay, saving a few $1,000,000 is great. Nobody's going to complain about that. But this is where the story gets really compelling. We're moving beyond just cutting costs and into the total value that gets unlocked for the business. This is where you see the true, jaw-dropping return on investment.
And there it is, the big one. Across all industries, the report found that organizations unlocked an average total annual benefit of $31 million. That's a staggering number. It proves that breaking free from the CVE doom cycle isn't just some small operational tweak, it's a massive strategic advantage.
But, that benefit isn't spread out evenly. Just look at this table. You can see a dramatic difference from one industry to the next. You've got healthcare and telecom way up at the top, unlocking close to $50 million a year. Meanwhile, financial services and tech see a smaller, but hey, still pretty significant benefit. Let's dig into why that is. First, let's zoom in on the industry that saw the biggest benefit of all, healthcare. What in the world is driving their massive $50 million return?
For healthcare, the story is overwhelmingly about one thing, risk. I mean, look at this chart. Of their $50.4 million in benefits, a whopping $39.1 million of it comes directly from decreased risk. And that makes perfect sense, right? You're dealing with incredibly sensitive patient data, strict regulations like HIPAA. The cost of a single breach is just astronomical. For them, prevention is everything.
Now for a totally different story. Let's compare that with another one of the high performers, telecom. This is such a fascinating tale of two industries. While healthcare is all about locking things down and reducing risk, the entire value proposition for telecom companies is something else entirely.
For telecom, it's all about speed. They unlocked an incredible $42.9 million in value from faster innovation. Think about it. In their hyper-competitive, consumer-facing market, the ability to rapidly develop and roll out new services is how you win, period. Freeing up their engineers from patching holes lets them build the future.
So we've seen the direct savings. We've seen the massive value unlocked in different industries. Let's bring it all home and talk about the bottom line. What does all this actually mean for your organization?
This slide really sums it all up nicely. This is the average return on investment across all the organizations they looked at. On average, companies saw almost $16 million in decreased risk, $13 million from innovating faster, $5 million in new revenue, and that $2.1 million in direct cost savings we started with. It's an incredibly powerful, multifaceted business case.
And hey, don't just take the report's word for it. This quote from Andrew Kunjane, the CISO over at Appian, just nails it. He says that by reducing all that security busy work, they can let their developers focus on what actually matters, driving innovation for their customers. It's the whole thesis of the report, right there in one sentence.
So, at the end of the day, this whole conversation boils down to one simple but absolutely crucial question you have to ask yourself. Is your team building real value for your business, or are they just patching holes? After seeing these numbers, it's pretty clear the answer could be worth millions.